I've talked about this a bunch of times in the last couple weeks. I've had the Cowboys dead in the water after Dak got hurt. I just thought that they would fall off a little bit on defense. I didn't trust them being able to sustain who they were last year without the same turnover production. And their defense has been absolutely terrifying. Amazing. And now they're 4-1, and they're right in the mix of this. The Rams offense was barely functional for most of that game. Outside of the one deep shot to Tutu Atwell and the 75-yard touchdown to Kupp, which obviously big plays count, but play in and play out, they struggled mightily to move the ball in this game. You could just feel how kind of unsettled they were before every single play, where they're just hanging on for dear life. And that's kind of what it feels like when you're playing against the Cowboys right now.
I mean, this is the most I feel like Stafford I've ever seen him like create in the pocket. Like he's like spinning around and moving. It's on necessity. Yeah. And honestly, Deontay crushed it on our Thursday pod and talking about why the Cowboys defense, and like just the little schematic tweaks, like Dan Quinn's running a lot of cover 2 now, and just understanding what his strength of the defense is. But it is so cool to watch this defense and just follow. Honestly, watching the Cowboys defense is like just follow where number 11 is. And that's where the creativity, it might not be the post snap stuff isn't as crazy. There's not a ton of exotic stuff, but where they put the guys is what pre-snap is the change up. And I think that's what's so cool is watching this Cowboys defense is just watch where Micah Parsons is. But man, this Rams offense, man, negative juice. I mean, they have no juice on this.
They have to put Tutu Atwell in there to get anything to lift the top off the defense. That's the only way that they can push the ball down the field.
And I mean, like I just looked it up too. There's 43 running backs with 30 or more carries this year. Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson are bottom 5 in adjusted yards after contact. They're not creating anything with the ball. So even when they do have a nice run game, and they're trying everything today. I mean, they were trying everything. The Rams were. I mean, even the play action game, they're trying to just window dress it as much as they could. But oh my God, it's just they can't hold up. It's Stafford, if he has to come off his first read, any quarterback that plays this Cowboys defense comes after the first read, you're playing with fire. It's Russian roulette. It's like, who's going to hold up? I have 5 guys I have to hold up against these freaks that are coming at me. And oh my God, all the games that are coming at them, just everything they play, everything's so aggressive with this defense. And it's really, really fun to watch. But as a quarterback, I'm sure it's just terrifying. And that's how Stafford had to play today. Like all of a sudden, he had to throw like a diving catch to Allen Robinson. It's like, that's not how you want to create yards as an offense.
They had a 47.5% pressure rate without blitzing in this game.
Oh my God.
When they were bringing 4. And that's how it felt. I mean, Demarcus Lawrence lined up for guard. Dorance Armstrong making plays while wind up inside. He's a nice player, by the way.
He is.
And they've become this type of unit up front where the guys start coming out of the woodwork the way the Niners have been like over the last 5 years.
The Rams defense a couple of years, like, you know,
it's just, and that's what happens when you kind of build this little ecosystem of pressure and mindset and the way that we play up front. The guys start to pop a little bit. You have a Dante Fowler play here and there. You have a Dorance Armstrong or Demarcus Lawrence. Tristan Hill had a TFL today. Sam Williams had a TFL on the play before, but now you're looking at 2nd and 18. And that's the problem is every time they started to get something going on the ground, it just got totally short-circuited. You want to know how many yards before contact the Rams averaged today on the ground? Before contact. 0.13. 0.13 yards before contact. They can't run the ball. They can't block anybody. They averaged 2.53 yards per carry over the course of the game, but even that isn't indicative of how bad it was. On those outside of those 2 long plays the Rams hit in the passing game, Stafford averaged 4.48 yards per attempt. It's a product sum of the Cowboys defense being incredibly good right now, but the Rams offense is also pretty broken.
11 QB hits today. Stafford, I mean, he's already banged up and he's just taking all those hits. Somebody said that like he's gonna be on the injury report and they'll just say all, like they won't say arm.
That's how it feels right now.
Just say all. But even like and the Rams last year in the offense, something we gushed about the empty stuff and all the chip help stuff and couldn't blitz them and all that, but they would hold up anyways, which I always thought was so cool. Is today on some of their 3rd and longs, they were locking in the running back in protection. So they're basically saying, not even if you blitz. So like, okay, sometimes a running back gets caught going like, if somebody got coming and then he doesn't release on the route, they were literally just saying, you stay in there. So if somebody comes free, you help out, which is like, that means you're playing a hand down. You're playing a card down before the play even gets going, because then the guys have to win down the field. You're getting one less body out in the routes. And that's kind of indicative of what the Cowboys defense is doing, but also where this Rams offense is at. They're like, we don't trust our guys to hold up. Hey, just hang in there. That's what college teams do. That's what the Steelers offense does, because they have a college offensive coordinator. So that's the kind of stuff that they do. They're like, screw it, we're not going to sort it out. You just hang in there and take a charge. And the fact that the Rams are doing that, who I've always thought have a good protection plan, man, that's just speaking to where they're at in this 2022 in week 5. We're in October. It's like, oh boy, just get to the bye week and hopefully you can regroup.
All you need to know about where the Cowboys are, where the Rams are, and where the NFL is that Cooper Rush threw for 102 yards in this game, and there was never a question about who was going to win.
They had 10 first downs. They had 10 first downs today.
And they controlled the game the entire way
without
through.
a doubt.
It's insane. It's crazy to watch a game like that and just never feel like the other team is threatening when your offense can barely move the ball. But that's where we are.